Good morning. Well, it's almost afternoon. But hi guys. So today I just wanted to vlog. I'm gonna check out this Edo Tokyo architectural museum. It seems pretty cool and like, some sort of places, if you go to the Met or any other museums where they have those period rooms, this is pretty much a whole museum of homes built during the Edo period. So pretty much this museum, the whole point is to take you into that era and, explore, I guess daily life or how things looked during that time, which I love. I'm a sucker for. I study history in college, so I love seeing how people live, and sort of having that anthropological aspect and just observing things. So I'm gonna, you know, take some video and record and show you guys what it looks like, because I think I've seen pictures and it looks pretty good. So I just washed my hair yesterday and it feels so nice and fluffy and it smells great. I think it looks a bit weird or misshapen, but it's okay. At least it's clean, right? So this is the area that I live in. It's pretty residential, suburban. There seems to be a huge interest in gambling, so there's a lot of pachinko slot places and everything. I don't know. There's also I don't see any rice fields ever. I mostly just see farms, a lot of gardening here, which is cool. And of course, they drive on the left side of the road, and the cars here are so cute and small. I think because the streets are pretty narrow. That's a regular sized car. But like these cars, they're super narrow. So I'm here in the park where the museum is, and I'm walking to this museum now. This park is huge. So this is the museum. Okay, let's go in. So this is a photo studio. So we're gonna go in. You have to take your shoes off when you go inside. The first restored house that I went into was the Tokyo Wadai photo studio. This photography studio used to be in Toki Wadai, which was developed as a healthy residential area. Since lighting equipment for photography was not fully developed in those days, frosted glass was used for the second floor windows on the north side of the studio for lighting purposes. I really love the space in this studio. I love, of course, the lighting, and I think just in general, a lot of Japanese homes are very open and airy and very light, which I love. And this is now the second floor of the residence of Hachiroemon Mitsui. I abolished that name just now, sorry. This house was built in Nishi Azubo Minato Ward in 1952. The guest room and the dining room were built around 1897 in Kyoto and relocated after the Second World War. The storehouse, which dates back to 1874, has been restored to its original condition. I loved the plushness of the carpets when you entered the home, But more specifically on the second floor, I love the airiness, like the open spaces, the open windows. Like, I think this is like where people slept. So could you just imagine just waking up to these huge windows overlooking beautiful forest and everything? I also really love the kitchen in this home. It's a massive kitchen, and obviously this home was very high end, and it housed people of importance. But I just love how big it is, and I love the island. It's awesome. And so later on, you see the plush red carpet, which is like giving me life. I also had the opportunity to speak with one of the staff of the museum, and she just explained to me that even though the home was developed in 1952, the owner of the home had been collecting pieces from other relatives' home in Kyoto, and so a lot of the elements and details in the home are from way later than the Edo period. And about the history of that particular home, and the family in that home. This is like sort of why I moved to Japan, to learn about Japanese history and culture, and I felt like I've been missing that since I've moved here. So just another sign that coming to this museum was really great. And this is the farmhouse of the Yoshino family. This house was built in the latter part of the Edo period. The Yoshino family administered Nozaki village, which is present-day Mitaka City, in the Edo period. The prestigious architectural style features an entrance hall with a shikidai, a low, broad wooden step, and a fixed desk in the inner room, which are characteristics of upper-class houses. Despite the fact that this farmhouse was very dark and smelled like fire, not fire, but so like it was like smoke, I really love the details in the home, in the farmhouse. You can see, well, you can't really see, but if you look up, you can see how like amazingly constructed and sturdy the building was. And once again, I just really love the open space, and I love that they still have the tools to showcase how, food was heated up, and, steam, and how, I don't know, steam buns were made or something. It was a really nice experience, and you could see like the clay ovens. And then, of course, I thankfully had the opportunity. I was able to sit down with the children and make bracelets, which was super fun. There was some confusion on my end, because I was like, I didn't understand what the woman was telling me to do. But in the end, it all worked out, and I came out with a bracelet, which looked lovely and lovely. Okay, that was awkward and nice. I got to make my own bracelet. Look how cute it is. I love it. Can't even see it. This building is the house of the leader of the Hachioji Guards. The Hachioji 1,000 warriors were the retainers of the Tokugawa shogunate family, who were deployed to Hachioji in the Edo period. The house of the retainer's head, which used to stand at the site bestowed by the shogun, is not as big as the surrounding farmhouses. However, the fact that it has an entrance hall with a shikidai, a low, broad wooden step, which is a standard feature of upper-class houses, shows that it was a house of prestige. Now, this building really surprised me, and I was like, it stuck out like a sore thumb because I was like, this is a Western house amongst all of these Japanese homes. But this is the house of George Delalande. This house is a Western style home that was originally built in Shinamomachi, Shinjuku Ward. The German architect George Delalande enlarged the house after 1910, transforming it into a 3-story wooden structure. The house came under various owners over the years, but from 1956, Mishima Kain, the inventor of the lactic acid beverage cow piss, so I sort of got my taste of Newport, Rhode Island with that American house. Well, actually, it's not American, it's Western. And I think it was a French guy who lived there. It would have been really nice if they had furniture of the and actually furnished the apartment. But I guess since that house went through so many different owners and had different purposes, it wasn't just a house. Now it's like a house, like restaurant. Before it was like a business location. So this house was my absolute favorite out of all of the homes that I've seen at the Architectural Museum. This house is the house of Kunio Maekawa. It was built in 1942 by the architect Kunio Maekawa for himself in Kamiosaki, Shinagawa Ward. He contributed to the development of modern architecture in Japan. The house was built during the Second World War when it was difficult to procure building materials. It has a Japanese-style gabled roof and a simple layout consisting of a study and bedrooms around a living room with a vaulted ceiling. I loved how open and spacious this room was. I think, and I felt really strongly about like mirroring my home and my house after the elements in this home. Like for instance, like the huge, like when you walk in, the huge wall of just windows, and then at the bottom you have the sliding doors. That is everything to me. I really love it. It brings in so much light. I also really loved the bathroom. The bathroom was my second favorite section of this house, and the kitchen is probably my third. Look at that farm table sink. Yes, I felt like for some reason, like even though that this building was built in 1942, the house was designed for the museum the way that how people would use it in 1955. I felt that the bathroom was like super modern. Like I love the wooden ceiling, very simple and minimalist. I loved it. On the other side of the park of the museum, this is the East Zone, and it's just shops during the Edo period. So there are like soy sauce shops and stationery shops and markets and tailor shops. All of these old goods and tools displayed in the restored buildings, and gave you the atmosphere of a downtown area of the olden days. And I think it really rounded out the Edo period during this time for me and how things looked. And it helped me to connect with how things continue to look here in Japan. Of course, now I'm sure there are elements that still exist even like right outside of my apartment. I can't see it though because it's shrouded by plant life and everything. So I really enjoyed walking by everything, checking out like the public bathhouse and everything else. I took a few pictures of this part on my blog, so you can always check out themugglecchronicles.com to look at additional pictures of my time at the Open Air Architectural Museum. Okay, so I am back in the house from the Edo Tokyo Open Air Museum, and I just wanted to, I guess, end the vlog. I'm tired. I've already changed into my loungewear. So yeah, it was so fun. I didn't expect to spend so many hours there, but it was about 3 hours by the time I left. I was really tired, a lot of walking around, but it was so good. I'll probably go again because there was another house. I didn't see everything. Like by the end of it, I was like, all right, it's time to get out of here. So I sort of rushed through the end. There is one house that I didn't look at, and there because apparently this house was one that a man was assassinated in. And I was like, I'm not walking inside that house alone. No, not without anyone. Like, that's way too, like, that's bad juju. So I'll probably just wait until I can go with someone else. And then the other home was, I think, under construction, so I couldn't see that one. But I really loved how they had the houses on one side, and then on the other side it was like a little town. So I really appreciated that. So if you're ever in Tokyo, make your way out to the Edo Open Air Museum, and I think you'll really enjoy it and learn a lot about Japanese history. I was able to connect and get some little trinkets and gifts from my experience there, and it was really cool, and the people are really nice and straightforward. You do have to pay a 400 yen fee, but to me it's worth it. You know, I spent 3 hours there taking it all in. I got my money's worth. I think everything is well done. They have an English guide that tells you about the houses, and it's really, really good. You even have some of the staff are English speaking, so that's awesome, right? Okay, well, that's the end of the vlog today. I hope that you all are doing really well. Tell me if you're really into this historical stuff. Do you like, you know, period rooms? Do you like checking out museums? Are you a museum nerd like I am? Let me know. Tell me how your day's going, because I'd like to learn more about you. All right, so that's in. So comment and subscribe and like the channel and share the channel if you enjoy it. And I don't know, talk to you later. See you. Bye.